Hi, everybody, and hi, my beautiful Cosmic Sis Star, all the way from Arizona, Mesa,
Ooh.
Arizona, and myself in Stockholm, Sweden right now. But I can't complain about the weather. How's the weather at your place?
Getting entirely too hot. We're already getting triple digits 2 months ahead of time.
Oh,
So
oh, geez. I can share a little bit of cold. We have 6 degrees Celsius here, and I consider that not to be too bad, right? You, that gives you a sense how the winter was, right?
right.
So it's okay. It's raining. Everybody, welcome to Cosmic Sis Stars Show with Corinne and Anne. And today we are going to talk about living limitless. That's something we have close to our heart. In
Hmm.
this luminous episode, we open the space for a conversation that breathes freedom into the soul. Anne and Corinne explore what it truly means to live limitless, to soften the old edges, dissolve inherited ceilings. Did I write ceilings? Sorry.
Hmm. Okay, that
I gave
works.
myself off now that I'm reading. And remember the vastness that has always been our natural state. Together, we weave stories, insights, and lived wisdom that invite every listener to expand beyond the familiar and step into the miracle frequency where possibility becomes a lived experience.
Yes.
This is a gentle activation, a sister star transmission, and a reminder that your life is meant to feel spacious, sovereign, and beautifully your own. And today we have Wednesday, March 25th in US and Europe, and our future in Australia, Thursday, March 26th. And I have to chime in with something here. It's a national holiday in Greece today. I think that they conquered the Italians today. I'm not sure. Either the Turks or the Italians. They had two national holidays.
Wow.
Poor Greece, right?
Yes.
In the middle of everything. And again, we're going to talk about living limitless. And we also take your questions. If you have any questions related to the topic, please chime in. And our last show on Cosmic Sis Stars were last Wednesday, March 18th. And we talked about Are You Trapped in Your Crack? Another great topic. We do go live for you on YouTube every week at youtube.com/ at Cosmic Guardians 111 slash streams and youtube.com/ at Angel Place on Earth slash streams. And after the show, we always stream the replay at facebook.com/ Cosmic Guardians. So you just pick and choose where you want to watch. So, what do you say, dear sister? Let's dive into today's show.
Oh, sounds like something that I'm pretty intrigued about this subject. But
Yes.
let me ask you, what if you just imagined that you were limitless? This literally means having no limits. Not even the moon or beyond the galaxy would stop you if you were limitless. What would that feel like? How does it sound? Where would you be? Who would you be? Why would you be? We're very quick to set limits on ourselves because we've imposed these restrictions and time constraints and lack of education and physical conditions and fallen into the trap that we are only human. But I'm asking, if you touch your true potential to be the limitless human, what is it going to feel like? What is it going to be like? And what if we had nothing and no thing
Are you there? I think you froze on me. I think my screen here froze, so I'm going to talk a little bit and see what's coming up. So, living limitless, it is not about striving for more or pushing beyond human boundaries. It is about remembering the natural spaciousness that has always existed within us. Sorry, I chimed in here. You froze. So we
Well,
lost.
yes, and then everything went away, and I'm going, well, that was certainly interesting, but
It was. Please
ah,
continue.
yes. But when people used to say, well, you're only human, do you think you're Superman? Well, I grew up thinking I was Superman. I even would put on my cape and I'd stand on the back porch at my grandmother's house, which was raised, and I just knew that I could fly if I just concentrated on it.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
children are limitless, but then, life comes along.
But I think that what we also are talking about, yeah, of course, there are our bodies, our vehicles that we use while incarnated here in this reality
Right.
have a few limits. But I think that what we need to consider is that we are putting limits onto ourselves because of what we think we know, what we have been taught, right? So
Yes,
we are being told that you're a guy, you can't do that, or you're a woman, you can't do that, or you're only a human being, you can't do that. Says who,
that's
right?
true.
Says
Yes.
who?
Yes. But what if we were open to the possibility that we are really more intelligent, more loving, more intuitive, more creative, more powerful, more fearless, more worthy? And we allowed for the possibility to explore this higher dimension of our humanness that has laid dormant for millennium.
Exactly. And if we are souls having a human experience, what are our limits?
Ah, okay.
Interesting question,
What
please.
are not our limits?
Exactly.
Okay. But this is a time for an understanding that the vastness of our own human potential. Um, in our lifetime, we are on the cusp of seeing modern miracles. And the time has come that we are ready to step in that divine role at this divine time, divine timing that we talk about, when
Yes.
all of humanity is on the brink of annihilation. Whoops, I didn't say that right. But we can prevent it. We
Yeah.
will prevent it if we are ready to say, we are more.
Yeah, we are more. I have a great example actually. Years ago, I used to fight Mercury retrograde, right? Because we are affected by so many things. We have solar flares and flashes, we have planets, we have Mercury retrograde, we're born into a certain sun sign, you name it, and energetically, we are being aware. Awareness is not the same thing as putting boundaries onto yourself. But what I want to say with this, because we just a few days ago we stepped out of Mercury retrograde, there is always a way to work with all and every energy instead of fighting it, right?
Yes.
So, as sensitive, energetic beings, awareness can make us understand that something is occurring or going on right now, meaning that, okay, how can I use that to my own advantage? Because we always can.
Yeah.
Like Mercury retrograde, for instance, it's fruitless to fight it as I did, because you're only going to create more of it at the end.
Yes.
Instead, work with any kind of energy that comes around and don't feel limited by
Yeah.
what's going on around you, right?
Yes. Well, I have a question here. When we look back on our lives and, oh, I'm just human, I'm not much, I this, I that. What if we changed our perspective, and we again remembered the time that you overcame an insurmountable challenge? Maybe you got that desired job that you were looking for. Maybe your sick child miraculously came through whatever they were dealing with. Maybe a dissolving relationship led you to something that was incredible. So we forget to go back and see where we have stepped into our limitlessness and just going, well, that was one time. Or, well, that person invented that because they're special. That person did this. But from what I gather, some of the most non impressive people have done some of the most impressive things. Like the human computer, the woman who worked for NASA, who hand calculated getting the rocket there and back, and did something that nobody else did. And then she went on to actually program computers. Where did this come from? She stepped into her limitlessness. We all have it, but we've been taught that it's beyond our touch.
Exactly. And it's common among humans to think that I am too small. I can't do that, right?
Right.
Someone else may be able to, but I can't, right? So that is a mindset we need to release,
Yes.
throw away, right? Because everyone can.
Yes. And again, instead of just cleaning house, one of the things that I found worked for me, instead of just packing it away and say, well, I'm not going to do that anymore, bless it for what it has taught you. Acknowledge that that was part of what got you where you are, and bless
Yes,
it, and then let it go. But not just say,
yes,
well, I don't have to do that anymore, I'm better than this and everything else, because what you're doing is you're just stacking up all the stuff, and then the universe says, well, uh, now we've got a little bit more together here, let's see if you can get through this challenge. And
yeah, you're
I'm
right.
going, let's just really clean house and make sure that I have acknowledged that it got me where I am, because I have found in my lifetime that some of the most challenging things that I have gone through have led me to some of the most miraculous things that I have ever done.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. And that goes for me too, because when we go through challenges, what we label as challenges, right? Those are keys for us
mhm,
to grasp and understand. So when we come out on the other side, there's no such a thing as failure. There are, things understood, and also allowing ourselves, that's your word,
yes,
to go through the experience. But sometimes we are a little bit maybe impatient because we don't want to feel the challenge. So we want to slide through the challenge as fast as possible, right?
yeah,
Uh, but we are also encountering challenges where there's no way around. There's no way. You can't go on the side. You can't swim underneath. You can't climb. You have to go through it, right?
Yep. Yes. And that's what gives us the grit. That's what gives us the insight. That's what gives us the fortitude. But you see, our greatness comes from a higher vibration, comes from freedom of being authentic through self-love, self-mastery, mindfulness, and awakening that awareness. And we've all heard about the laws of attraction. How energy flows, energy will follow. And Joe Dispenza, I really appreciate the work that he has done. And the concept of change your mind and change your life. Now that sounds a little cryptic, but we do not actually we're not living our potential, because science says that we're only using 10% of our mind. Well, guess what? That rest of that is in the field, and learning how to step into that part which makes us limitless. It takes a little, education. It takes a little
Practice.
devotion and practice, a lot of practice. But when you can do that, and I love it when science, real science, and the reality of there's beyond science work together. But with the science now, they have the machines to prove that when you step into the field, the brain waves change. And when you're in that field, that's where physical healing happens, mental healing happens, psychological healing, emotional healing. That's where everything happens. So we are limitless. We are limitless.
We are limitless miracles
Exactly.
incarnated here.
Yeah.
So, the moment we choose to honor our inner knowing and tapping into that field that you are talking about, even if it contradicts the expectations around us, because that's what we need to conquer, so to speak, right?
Yes. Yes.
And stepping outside of the box, opening up our mind, like Dispenza said, change your mind, change your life.
Exactly.
It sounds so easy when we are saying it, but it's a process. And we need to allow, picking your word again, I start to like that word. We allow ourselves to be outside of the box,
Yeah.
because we are raised to fit into a certain box, right? So we need to take ourselves outside of that. And that is expansion. It is unknown. It can feel scary, but we don't need to tear down a whole side at once from the box. We can make it in small pieces, right? So
Yes.
we can expand and explore.
And it's this is the beauty of I think we have been given this opportunity, you and I, and we have talked about so many tools and so many ideas and so many different perceptions, and utilizing little bits and pieces of this and this and this to really understand that you can do this. You can step into where miracles vibrate. It's not because you're this ethnic thing, or you wear this particular thing, or you have this belief system. Every human being has the ability to step into that. And segueing just a little bit, these children that are coming in now that are still completely connected to spirit, and they verbalize. This little girl about 4 years old, and she was saying that you are love and we are connected to everything. 4-year-old. And I'm going, this is what we have been reaching for. And people that have lived a long time, like myself, you kind of push this stuff aside. But then you start getting back to it, and your ears are opened, your heart is receptive, and then you hear these children speaking. You were on the right track. You are limitless. You are the creator. You are the expression of unconditional love. And even though the world is telling us that this is not true, we are the ones that are bringing this to its fruition.
Yes, indeed. And because we have free will and we are the ultimate creators of our own reality, that by itself says we are limitless.
Mm-hmm.
There's no limit. We put up the framework and the frames for the limits that we think. So therefore, changing your mindset.
And that's it. That's it. Change your mind and change your life. It's so simplistic, but in reality, life is simplistic, and it is only complicated, I think, because we've been told that it had to be complicated. And if you ever watch a little child and you say, we're going to go to Disneyland, well, they may not understand time and space, but they know they're going to go to Disneyland, and they know it's going to happen, and nothing is going to get in the way of them knowing that they're going to do that. Now, a lot of things have to transpire before that actually becomes reality, but they still, because they know it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And we lose that ability. And when you watch someone overcome a challenge, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, whether it's a physical situation, and they step into that miracle frequency, and we just assume that they must be a very special person to do that, not realizing that we all can do that.
Every single one of us, every single one.
That's right.
And you told a story a few episodes ago, probably more than a year or so, where you had some sort of disease. They said there were 2% that recovered. And you tenaciously said that, well, I'm going to focus on the 2%.
That's
I'm
right.
going to be one of the 2%. And you did it.
I mean, it's like, okay, you could throw your numbers out, but I don't have to take that 90% of the people are going to you perish. I'm going to go with the 10% that get through. I mean, that's my choice. And this is the thing, that when we start thinking in those terms, instead of in the doom and gloom, and you meet people and they assume, there's that beautiful word, that because a situation worked out bad for them or someone they knew, that what you're going through is going to end up in the same way. And I think you and I are so stubbornly tenacious that we go, hey, listen, that doesn't limit us.
No way.
Don't tell me I can't put a roof on my house. I hadn't done it before, but guess what? I did it. I did it. And don't tell me that I can't move that 250 pounds of concrete because I'll figure out a way to do it.
Yes.
And see, that's the difference. That's the difference, is that and I'm not even aware that I'm reaching into that 80% of who I really am, because I've gotten to the point where it's a little less effort to slip into the field, create, and eventually people, I'm going to stay in that 80%. That's my
Yes.
goal, because I am limitless.
Because you're limitless and you can, right?
That's right.
So I think that a big part of this also, to understand that we are limitless, all of us,
Mm-hmm.
is to work with your own mindset about why do you think that there are limits to your existence? For instance, people who channel like you, and my in a different way, when we get thoughts coming, we get um, creativeness, we become inspired, we figure out, we detach ourselves from getting stuck in a certain way, because this is how mankind did it for 100 years. So that's the only way of doing it. We find our own way. And that's a part of tapping into the field, right?
Mm-hmm.
To getting access to what we can, because there are so many things we can do. Sometimes, in our experience, maybe we can't do it in the same way that 100 people are doing it, but we're going to find our own way of doing it. So we're still going to do it.
Yes. Because you know why? I can.
I can, yes.
You know? And there again, changing the mind. And I I think that I came into the world just knowing that that was possible. And and then I would forget, and then I would play the game of being um, a normal human. And every now and then I would step into my true divinity. And that felt so good. It felt so right. And the more that you do it, the more that that becomes your norm. And everything else around you is just, uh, well, that was interesting. That's interesting. And we we step into that limitlessness when you use it more.
Yeah. I remember, for instance, when we found each other, and I had another lady for a couple of episodes, and then I did a couple of episodes myself, because I just said, okay, I haven't done this. I did radio. It's a little bit different because you can show up in your pajamas. Now we revealed the secrets, right? You don't have to do your hair or anything.
That's right. Yeah.
But you just need to have a pleasant voice so you can speak and have something to talk about. And people call in, um, but you can still interact with people this way, but you're more out there. But I just said to myself, you know what? If other people can do this, so can I. Why not? Why not? And that opened the door, and I didn't make too many by myself. And then you popped into my life. Thank you.
And I was popping in for one episode, and
And I grabbed you.
and it was um, because, as you said, I've done a lot of radio, and I was comfortable with that, and been a little camera shy, and so I wasn't sure whether I would be able to, sit in front of audio because I didn't even like my picture taken. And it was divine timing, and we were directed. And the best thing that I've ever done in my entire life was was say yes to you.
Oh, thank you.
And I mean, I really mean that with every fiber of my body, because it has it was the next step in my evolution, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you too. Thank you for sharing this experience with me. And I just said, because I'm very stubborn, I'm very bold. So I just said, okay, what the heck? I'm going to do it, and I'm going to find a path somewhere. And I think that the mindset, I don't say that everybody needs to be exactly like me. What I'm saying is that don't put restrictions onto yourself. If there's something you feel I would like to do that, but you say to yourself, but why do you say but?
Exactly.
Why?
Yes.
What's the reason? What's holding you back? Because other people have opinions, and other people are always going to have opinions. This doesn't mean we have an attitude that we are the best and we are doing this on our chest, right? It
No.
means that we have the courage and we have the faith. It's also about faith that I'm going to do what I feel is coming my way. This is, you could say, like when you tap into the field, it works like guidance, right? So
Yes.
you get these senses, and sometimes, and this is something I feel that maybe people take wrong sometimes. It doesn't mean that every single day is going to flow easy. It's not about easy,
No,
no.
it's
So if there, it feels like you have to do a little bit of effort or much effort, doesn't mean that you are on the wrong path. You are
exactly.
going to just go for it, give it a try, set a timeline if you wish, but don't set a timeline for one time or twice. Set it for a month, 2 months, 6 months, whatever, right? Give
And
it a chance, give things a chance.
that's
Yes,
right. And also don't be restrictive of how you think it should look. Just say, I'm open to that. I'm going to see where it takes me. And interestingly enough, I firmly believe that when the teacher is ready, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And I had the pleasure of meeting this young lady, and she sat there and looked at me. She says, I traveled all the way to Mesa, Arizona to find a teacher, and it is you.
yes.
And her mother also said that too. And I I was a little taken aback by that, but then I thought, I'm not going to limit what the possibilities are. And she has been working on her self mastery, and she is becoming this incredible, uh, beautiful Reiki person. And I was blessed to be able to be that guide, that teacher in this interim. And the same with you. We reconnected, and I did not put any limits on what could happen. I said, let me try it and see where it goes. And it has just um, moved
It
beyond.
has become it has become a wonderful path, to
Yes,
be
it has.
honest.
Yes,
Yeah, it has. So we need to just have courage, being a little bit bold, trusting in ourselves, um, and remember, if someone can do something, so can you
absolutely.
in your own way, right? If you
Yes,
feel for it. And I love what you said about having a prefixed idea. This is how this is going to look like, and I'm not going to do anything that's going to stick out. That's going to be way harder
yeah,
because here's the thing too. I manifested, and I know you manifested a lot of things in your life, and I have manifested in mine. But how I could see the vision in the beginning almost never was the same as the end result. And the end result was always better than I could imagine.
Yes, because this is the benevolence of the universe. And I sometimes, when I'm speaking with my students, and I'll say, if your little wagon, your little red wagon is broken, and folks, that's a toy we used to play with in the dark ages, and it was little, it had wheels on it, and you had to actually pull it. It didn't have motors on it. People sometimes know what a wagon is, and it's broken. So you take it to the wagon repair, and you tell them how to repair the wagon. Well, maybe they want to give you a beautiful wagon that has 19 seats in it and has shiny wheels, but we are still limiting ourselves to what this wagon looked at. And I love the way you say limitlessness is not a destination. It is moving in the flow. And we talked one time about, being in the flow, being in the now, and
Yeah,
allowing. I love that word allowing, because that opens up so many possibilities.
it
And
does.
I know how many times in my life I have said to myself, well, I'm not even going to look into that because I know I can't do it, or I don't have the what it needs, or something like that. And I stopped the flow. And I'm sitting in a beautiful house that's twice the size as my original house, because I did not stop the flow. I
Yeah,
wanted a healing center, and I put on my mirror that this friend of mine, that her husband would build me my healing center, and I'll have all new furniture, all new appliances, and so forth. But I didn't put an address because I didn't know exactly where in the valley I wanted to live. And a year later, it was time for me to receive my miracle. And I'm up in the mountains with his wife, and I get a call that my house burned down.
oh,
And so I come back to the valley, and my house, the walls are there, but the ceiling is no ceiling, and it's burned. And I realized that my number had come up, but I had not put limits on it. I hadn't said, oh, it has to be this, it has to be that, it has to be this shape. And the universe said, well, this is the best we can do. We're going to level it. We're going to start over. And now I have a healing center where I can set 40 people in my great room. I teach here. I
that's
do
perfect.
Reiki classes here. Um, and I did not limit the universe into what it could do by me saying, well, I want it to be this big, and it can't be more than that because I can't afford it. And I can't, I didn't put limits.
No, you didn't put limits. And another area where people usually put limits is I want to find a partner,
Yep.
the love of my life. But I want this person to be this and this and this and this and this and this and this, right? Uh,
Exactly.
from appearance to all the personal traits. And when they meet someone that are maybe having most of the qualities that they have themselves, that they are looking for, that they want to be, they want to attract, it's a new type. So they dismiss the new type because of fear many times, right?
Yep.
But if we don't want to attract the same thing. We want to step up to find someone who are in alignment with who we are, the version we are at that very time. And that's also something we cannot also attract someone who is going to be what we dream about if we don't have it ourselves. That's where the self-work comes in, right? But
That's right.
also give that person a chance. We can't put up all the details. I want he has to be or she this way. They have to look. They can't be. They have to have a certain height. They have to have a certain amount of kilos. You know, working with a specific occupation. We need to give the universe and the other people that are coming into our lives a chance, right?
Exactly. Exactly. And the beauty is that when we step into the field, when we step out of the restrictions that we have set upon ourselves, the doubts that we have set, and it's not going to cost me anything to just dream and imagine, and then just sit back and watch that imagination become a reality. Every single thing that we have in this modern world was somebody's imagination.
Yes, it
Really,
was indeed.
really,
Yeah,
somebody imagined glasses, somebody imagined paper, somebody imagined computers, somebody imagined the cup that I'm drinking out of here. So at some time, it was nothing more than the imagination. And they stepped into the limitlessness
yes,
of creation and it became a reality. That vibration and that frequency of being literally in the field, it is called in the no time, no space, the
exactly.
no thing. Nothing is there, nothing has been done. It's just all of this benevolent energy waiting for you to say, oh, well, I think I'm going to twist it this way and maybe put that this way. And wow, look at the words that appeared on my paper.
Exactly. So, living limitless is also a collective movement, right?
Yes.
It's a remembering that we rise together. It's a recognition that each soul carries, as you said, a unique frequency that contributes to the harmony of the whole. It's a celebration of the courage it takes to be fully alive.
Mhm.
It's a reminder that the universe expands through us, breathes through us, and expresses through us. So you can say that what we're talking about today, it is a call to step into the miracle of your own existence.
Right.
It is an invitation to live with an open heart, a clear mind, and a limitless spirit. And as we listen, something inside us shifts, something softens, something awakens, and something remembers. We are limitless. We always have been, and now we have to choose to live it. Right?
Yes.
Sorry, some allergies here. What am I going to do?
We're going to sniffle and we're going to be human and realize that that is part of our experience and know that with all of that pollen, this beautiful, beautiful earth is going to just go, I'm here again. Look at what
Yes.
I'm wearing.
And it's actually specific here in Sweden because, four seasons, long winters, cold, and when nature awakens, everything awakens. So there's no kind of coming around it, right? But it's beautiful. It
Yes.
hasn't really started yet, so I'm waiting for some more.
Well, you know, I always say during my allergy season, that's when I get my real sexy voice and I sound very nasally. And I have learned to realize that, okay, that's what I'm going to sound like during that period of time. And I'm going to make the best of it and make fun and make light of it, not jokes, but make light of it, because it's not going to define me. It's just going to refine me.
Yes, exactly. So, how do you feel about the hot seat?
Well, I noticed it was getting a little warm, so I guess there's some questions that are coming at the end of this.
So, first question, and I want to say to everybody, we always say this, we have 5 simple questions, I call them simple,
Simple, yes.
that we ask each other. Usually I ask Miss Corrine here, but these questions are also for you to ponder about, reflect upon, right?
Yes.
What would you answer to these questions? So first question is, what does living limitless mean to you in this moment of your life?
In this moment of my life, total authentic freedom. I it is so wonderful to just be in the now and be able to tap into all that I am and could be, and realize that I haven't even begun to touch the surface. And this is exciting because it's every day is that miracle, that awe moment. And when I do have my challenges, and I've had some pretty big challenges for the last 3 days, but I look at them like, okay, so this is just saying that I'm also in the human realm, and that's okay, because I can step out of the human realm, and then we can go on with the rest of being limitless.
Exactly. And you had a knee replacement, right? So
Yes.
you had some challenges, yes. Um,
Yes, and I was miraculous. I was doing things that nobody could do after having a knee things, and I was working in my yard. And uh, during the night, something happened, and I'm like back to square one, but only temporarily.
only temporarily, I know.
I'm going to give the doctors an opportunity to go, what the heck? So I'm a teaching tool. I'm a teaching tool. But
Good on you, good on you. And if I know you right, which I think I do, you are as stubborn and tenacious as I am,
oh,
right?
hey, listen, I am.
Yeah. So, in what area, where do you still feel a ceiling that wants to soften or dissolve?
Whew. The only thing that I could say that humorously, it's when I bump my head, and I and it's like, oh, there's still something I need to move through, and it comes in little different ways. The beauty about the universe, it sends you so many little subtle things that says, yeah, you are fantastic and everything else. Now step through this and be a little bit more fantastic. And and I think that's the beauty of it, because uh, if there wasn't a little bit of a challenge, how would I be able to stretch my limitlessness to see how limitless I can be?
Exactly. And I think that is something that drives both of us. So if I'm going to hit something that feels like there's a wall here, or there's a doorstep, or there's a ceiling, or you name it. Oh, well, I'm going to find a way coming out on the other side.
Yes. Yeah.
There's nothing to talk about. I know I'm going to find the way.
It may not look pretty, but we get the job done. you know?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
So, third question. What helps you remember your natural expansiveness?
Oh, that I'm going to redefine your simple questions as immensely thought provoking opportunities to find possibilities. And you know what? I'm going to ask you to answer
Okay.
that question.
What helps me to remember my natural expansiveness? Yeah, whenever I come to what I just mentioned, something that feels like this is going to stop me or block me or restrict me or whatever, right? Um, it's for me personally, that triggers me in a positive way. So it triggers me. So I want to find how I'm going to conquer it because I want to conquer it. It's not a competition, so to speak, but it's more like because I know I can. I'm not always sure what I'm going to find on the other side,
Mhm.
but that also makes it exciting for me. It's not something that's going to be uh, sure, or I don't have that sense that I need to have control what's going to be exactly. Of course, like every human being, I prefer to feel safe and standing on my both feet if I can, right? But
Right.
I'm not going to be afraid of pushing those walls or whatever is going to be. And that helps me to remember that I can expand. I can move beyond um, as thoughts, as something that I'm taking action on. Um, yeah, it's just to explore. It's exciting.
Hmm.
Sometimes, when I'm finding something that tries to restrict me or block me, yeah, I may say a few words for 5 minutes or 1 minute, not very pretty words. And then I say, okay, come on, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's I think that's what makes the human being so different than other species in the universe is our creativity, our adaptability, and how we are given opportunities to really try on different things and see how they fit. And
Exactly. Because if we haven't tried them, we don't really know. It's going to remain somehow a dream. So you think that, okay, um, I'm curious about that thing, but I don't know if I dare to try, right? Because maybe I'm afraid of failure. And in my world, because I have a big mouth and I get excited when there are new stuff. So I just say, okay, if someone else have done that, well, so can I. But I'm finding my way of doing it. Right?
yes,
And sometimes, yeah, sometimes you could say that there are experiences that we learn afterwards that maybe we should have not done, but that's also a learning. So
yes,
in that sense, you could say no regrets.
right. Well, we came here. We came here to have the experience, and the difference is if you live your entire life in a library and you're reading about these experiences and you're reading about a sunset or you're reading about water or you're reading about um, the feeling of sadness or love, but you've never actually experienced it. And we give ourselves the opportunity to have these experiences so we have a different tactile um, understanding and not just words on a paper or scroll
Exactly.
or however they're
Exactly.
recorded.
So, fourth question. Which belief or story are you ready to release to feel more free?
Okay.
Getting hot, right?
It really is. Those thought-provoking, simple questions. The stories that I have fed to myself for so many years that that I can't are being eliminated by the I can, and I'm going to discover how I can, and I'm willing to do what I can to make it happen. And I think more and more when I run into something that tries to limit me, and this really isn't stubbornness, it's how do I find a way, as you said, for me to be able to do that? I do a lot of yard work and build things, and I have to work with things that I can work with, and things that I can cut and things that I can put together. So I look at something and I say, well, how can I get what I want to accomplish, but in the way that I physically can do it? And it looks different than other people, but the results are the miracles that I create. And I think releasing the fears and the doubts, but it comes daily because we're not finished here.
No, we're not finished. And we don't have that sense also that, okay, I got it. Yeah, I used to have that 20 years ago, and I said I found it. I know I got it.
Yeah. I've been there.
And
Been there, done that.
I didn't even scratch the surface, but I think that if we are curious about life and we are aware of things going on and we don't take things personally, as we have been talking about, right? And I talk to myself in a kind, loving, gentle way, and I acknowledge that I can do absolutely most things, to be honest. Why not? Finding my way of doing it. And if you compare men and women, yeah, of course, I'm a woman in this life. So I don't have the physical strength, maybe, but I can figure out a way to do most of the things that someone with the physical strength would do. I can
Exactly.
figure it out. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So, last question. What is one small limitless choice you can make today?
Oh, thank you, universe, for giving me the opportunity to be able to answer these questions by having the experience. Okay.
Okay.
One small limitless choice that I am making today at this very moment is that even though the excruciating pain that reoccurred in my knee that tells me that I've done something really going to be bad, I am seeing the limitless possibilities that it was just take your time and slow down, and that everything is going to be absolutely incredible by Sunday.
Yes.
And,
Good.
so that is my
Fantastic.
limitless thought.
And so it is,
And
right?
so it will be. Yes.
So it will be.
Yep.
And, we make these choices each and every day from the time we wake up in the morning until we fall asleep, and even when we are sleeping,
Mm-hmm.
asleep. So think about the choices you make, you listening to this out there. Small ones, big ones, allow yourself to choose. and don't limit yourself because you are limitless.
That's right. That's right. And I will take this opportunity to be a teacher and to give other people an opportunity to say, how did you do what you did? And I'm going to say, hey, it's a learning curve for us all. So
Yeah.
if that's what I need to do today, then that's what I shall do today.
Yeah, I know someone who actually just kind of fell off the bicycle a couple of years ago, right?
Now, who was that? That was,
I don't
however,
really remember.
but that person did it in front of three very brilliant surgeons that were right
Yes,
at your beck and call from the moment that it happened. So, divine placement, divine being in the right place at the right time. If you're going to do that, do it where somebody is going to be, right on the ball. So,
taking care of you within seconds.
exactly. So, you know, yes, we
Yeah,
do. You and I do laugh at our challenges, but we also are given challenges so we can better be able to talk to our listeners and say,
yes, exactly.
we're human, we're going through this, and you are limitless. We're not just saying that to be a quickie, happy word. You can do beyond what you think you can do.
Exactly. All of you out there, all of
That's
you.
right.
So my beautiful sister,
Uh-huh.
is there anything else we want to talk about?
Well, always, but another day, another time.
Another day, another time. So I start wrapping this up, and we have a few things to say, and then we have the beautiful affirmation. If you wish to read that after, when we come
Yes,
to that place, right?
yes,
So
please.
you can find upcoming and past episodes at youtube.com/at Cosmic Guardians 111 slash streams and youtube.com/at Angel Place on Earth slash streams. And also at angelplaceonearth.com/upcoming dash past. Connect with us, read articles, and find out more about Anne or Corrine. You can find Corrine her website, that is liquidenergyhealing.com. And each and every Tuesday, you have an open heart meditation that is exquisite, to be honest, good energy. You can find Corinne's phone number and other things connected to her at her website, liquidenergyhealing.com, and also at angelplaceonearth.com/cosmic guardians.
Yes.
And we have streamed a couple of series, the Four Agreements and the Fifth Agreement, recently, actually. I think last week, right? Or
Hmm.
a couple of, no, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
And and also the Celestial Prophecy, and where we went through 12 insights. Find our series at angelplaceonearth.com/series dash cosmic dash guardians. Our next upcoming show with Cosmic Sis Stars and Corinne and myself is going to be April 1st. How about that? Sounds
Oh,
like a joke. Oh, and I love the topic. We talk about illusions of the mind, unmasking the world of illusions. How fitting.
wow.
So, April Fool's Day, right? April 1st. And we do go live for you every Wednesday in US and Europe, and that means early morning Thursday in Australia. Today's affirmation, please.
Okay. I expand beyond every boundary and return to the limitless truth of who I am.
Beautiful.
Yes.
And thank you, everybody, for sharing this show with us and our thoughts and what we hope we have triggered something within you. And as we close this Cosmic Sis Stars conversation, may the resonance of limitlessness continue to ripple through your day. Let the insights settle softly. Let the reminders of your own vastness stay close. And let the miracle frequency guide your next steps with ease. Thank you for sharing this space with us. Until we meet again, keep expanding, keep softening, and keep remembering the truth of who you are: boundless, sovereign, and beautifully limitless. We see you, we hear you, we honor you, we love you, we appreciate you. From your Cosmic Sisters, Karina and Ann. Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.